How do you assess the potential risks of the escalating arms sales amid the existing conflicts such as the Israeli war in Gaza, Lebanon, the Russia-Ukraine conflict, with all the ceasefire agreements that are meant to be held, all the humanitarian catastrophes as well?
Absolutely, we cannot expect anything positive with Trump in the White House. I think there will be a fast pace of heightening arms sales. As Trump is a man of deals, there will be casualties in the Middle East and in the conflict areas as he's building the military complex, gaining more revenue, more funds. So he will seek to apply pressures on the regional countries to buy more weapons and arms during the upcoming period to achieve more revenue and to form a relations between different new countries. The conflicts will be heightened during the upcoming period because Trump is forming and entering into a lot of arms deals. He will seek to increase the U.S. sales, multiplying the numbers and figures. So I predict the decline of any efforts to solve the ongoing conflicts because the U.S. interest is the continuity of these conflicts to achieve more revenue and make the regional countries depend on the United States as the most powerful country in the world with the largest GDP. So now the Middle East or any countries in conflict will only depend on the United States of America. It is its best interest to continue the vicious cycle of conflict.
Mr. Sadler, how might shifts in U.S. arms export policies impact relations with traditional allies and adversaries alike, keeping in mind President Donald Trump's inauguration speech when he actually mentioned that he would work on curbing the security spending and also try and avoid being part of conflicts the U.S. doesn't need to be a part of?
Strongly with the earlier characterization about the Trump administration and the self-serving nature of arms sales. Quite the contrary, it was lack of leadership and lack of providing the needed weapons of our allies, not just Israel, but other countries across the Middle East, the weapons and the needed know-how, the training to defend themselves that provided a power vacuum and an opportunity that the Iranian regime in Tehran fully exploited through their proxies from Hezbollah, Hamas, the Houthis, and across Iraq and Syria to bring about last year and a half's violence. It was not profiteering by U.S. arms deals. And so where we are at right now is the potential to return to an invigorated Abraham Accords, which has brought more stability to the Middle East, and with Saudi Arabia potentially joining this. Again, this was one of the reasons that was theorized why Iran agitated for the attacks in October 7th of 2023. So I see very good opportunities for an invigorated alliances and partnerships beyond Israel, but certainly many more other countries in the Middle East that will put a damper on Iran's institution or agitation for violence across the region. Reports have been coming back out of Tehran that Iran has told or directed its proxies to avoid a direct confrontation or perceptions of seeking escalation with the U.S. right now. And one can read from the failures they've had the last year at the hands of the Israelis, certainly not from U.S. provisions of weapons, which only recently has been restored, that Iran is looking to tamp down, and that is because of invigorated leadership and alliances in the Middle East with the United States. The arms sales are one of the bedrocks to back that up.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Ashry, other than the spike of arms exports by the US, do you see a change in the global security dynamic, especially regarding rival powers such as Russia and China?
Absolutely, there is the rivals are increasing. Now we can see that there are two sides in the world. The third is Russia. China is increasingly advancing. Sometimes they even are better than the US. The US is now working to achieve military advancement overall. And consequently, as the world is divided into two, one is the Chinese, the Russian in Asia, and other is Western, represented in the United States, that will hasten the pace of conflict in the world and will rule out reaching any common grounds, as Russia and China on one side are in direct confrontation with the US, and the Russian-Ukrainian war is the best example of that, as Russia and China are facing the US. Now the US are strengthening alliances with a lot of countries all around the world, which will increase the rivalry between both sides. And we will see that during the next month and years. And I think Trump is really hard to control, and he will seek new alliances by power, through threatening, and through investment opportunities. He only thinks about the US best interests and to bring back the glory of the US facing Russia and China. So we witness more and more tension and conflict and increasing arms sales and finding new clients, especially in the Middle East, in the light of all the conflicts that are going on in the region at the moment. They will buy arms to satisfy America and to achieve some sort of power in the region and to increase and worsen the conflict, as we have seen in the Russian-Ukrainian war, as well as the Israeli-Arab conflict.
Yes.
And we will witness more of that during the next 4 years.